This is lovely. The coffee. So those of you that come on the live stream this morning, I really appreciated it. I wanted to go on longer, but it got busy in the coffee shop and I had to go to the gym, work on my business. Sorry, I went for a run. I'm going to go to the gym later on. So I want to get another live stream in and continue. There's many things I want to talk about. So just give me a few minutes because I'm a little bit tired. I just went for a run, did a previous live stream, did some YouTube videos, showered, and I've got my bag packed. Got to work on more business projects and I'm going to go to the gym later on, so I'm just going to enjoy this coffee. So it's funny because coffee and conversation has been a really meaningful thing for me and my clients and my friends and all of you, and I'll explain the simplicity of coffee and conversation and how coffee and conversation can change your life and help you to get past the anxieties, the intrusive thoughts, the trauma, the fears, the bullying, the doubt, the insecurities, all the things that come with struggling and having anxiety and wanting to change your life. So for me, I suppose it was age 34 I started drinking coffee. I didn't like coffee growing up, you know, parents drunk it, other people. Anyway, so when I was working with my mentor, I built a successful business. I was a coach as well, but after being successful, I started to, you know, experience a lot of pain and fear, and I realized I got to get some help from my childhood trauma. You know, building a successful business has been amazing, and helping people, it's helped me to fix a lot of it, but it hasn't done all of it. Anyway, so long story short, I worked with my mentor, Jeff, and it was the first time I tried coffee with my mentor, and that was when I got a taste for it. And you know, the mentorship that I did with him, it helped me a lot, and we'd go for a walk in the park, sit down, have a coffee and talk things out, work on changing my life, get things out that were bothering me and things like that. So when I work with my clients, this is what I do because it works. It's so powerful, it's so simple, and I love having, look, coffee is always good. You can, if you're running a business, you can have a coffee with your clients, you can have coffee with your wife, or if you're with your husband, your girlfriend, your friends, on your own. Coffee and conversation is appropriate in every kind of different relationship, social situation. Of course, unless people don't drink coffee and they can drink something else. So I love it. This is, for me, this is one of the practice of gratitude that I practice, other than praying with my faith and running. This really is the habit, the process of sitting down, and I love it. It's you know, it's my dream, sitting down, drinking coffee, and taking some time out, appreciating life. Now, funny enough, I love this place. I've gone in today to get a coffee, and I'm really big on good customer service and good communication skills. It bothers me when people are outrightly rude and nasty, because I just think there's no need for it. There's no excuse, right? I know that sometimes we have a bad day, you're working, you're stressed, people upset you. I get that, right? But generally, I don't think there's any. I think life's too short, right? I run a business. I always treat people with respect. Everywhere I go, I always try and use good manners and just be polite, and you actually have a better life like that. Anyway, I've gone in here to get a coffee, and the guy in there, Italian guy, is a gentleman. You know, he's really friendly. He's got me a nice coffee. He asked me how was my day, and I said it the other day, didn't I, on one of my live streams, and I said it I was ranting on the videos. Like, if you can't ask someone how their day is, you're not setting a positive example. Like, you're not going to be happy in your life if you can't do simple things. Like, generally just ask someone, be polite when you're going in shops or restaurants or you're traveling. You know, someone serving you coffee, they're helping you, and you can't just ask them how their day is. It's like, I mean, I don't even know where to start. So I said to him, I really appreciate that. Not many people do that. And then, you know, we got into a conversation. He told me about Italy, told me about his dad, London. It's nice, you know. It's what we did when I was younger in the 90s and the 80s. So hopefully this will inspire people to continue that, because a lot of people don't do it. They're just people just rude, or they're selfish, or you know, they're not conscious. They're not aware. So they just go in. They don't use good manners. They don't ask people how they are, and they wonder why they feel awful about themselves. So you feel good when you treat people well. Anyway, so I teach my clients this. To be honest, I remind them, because all the clients I work with, all of them are nice people, and they're polite, respectful. And if there wasn't, if I'm being honest, I wouldn't work with them, you know, not in that state. So I remind them to continue practicing daily the good values that they've been brought up with and who they are. And obviously it's a daily thing, like I said, daily discipline. You can't just go and say, well, I was polite yesterday, and then for the next months ahead, you're back to being moody again and, you know, not being nice to people. So it's a daily thing, it's daily discipline. Now, on the topic of this video, live stream video, bullying, criticism and abuse is what all my clients have gone through, and it's what I went through. And I'd say anyone who is got an anxiety problem and intrusive thoughts, 100%, they've gone through some bullying in their childhood and it's affected them. Obviously, the next step is to transform your life, to use the pain to change, get help, practice discipline, you know, rebuild relationships, rebuild yourself, and that's what I'm talking about today. I'll answer questions if you've got any questions. So that's what I said yesterday. I had a really good mentoring session with my client James for 4 hours. We had it over coffee, not in this park, but another park in London. And man, we time traveled, you know. He worked on so much stuff in his life, getting things out. A lot of confidence building is talking, getting things out. You know, people that have got anxiety and intrusive thoughts, I am certain 100% from experience. I've been coaching for 12 years, mentoring, and I've been working on my own anxieties and fears for over 20 years. And a lot of people have a real problem communicating. And the reason why, one of the big reasons is shame. And shame is a difficult thing to face, depending on if you've got a mentor, if you're committed. But generally, where most people are at, hopefully that will change through watching my videos or through their own decision, or you know, whatever the case may be. Shame is a very, very difficult demon and monster to take on, because it's very painful and it's very shameful, and it's hurtful, and it has lots of different departments and elements of your life and things that happen that you're ashamed of and that hurt you. So, you know, no pain, no gain. It's literally the truth, not just in bodybuilding, but in life and healing and rebuilding yourself. So most of the work that I do with my clients to help them is giving them a safe space to speak. Because look, everyone can speak, but how many people can speak authentically? You know, the way that I'm speaking now, where they're not hiding themselves, they're not protecting themselves. And protecting and hiding, I understand it. I've done it for many years of my life. It's a coping strategy, and I'm not judging that. It's hard, these things, but you can't heal like that. You can't get better like that. At some point, you've got to start talking authentically. You know, you've got to start speaking and expressing. And I don't just mean, you know, you've got to talk about your trauma and your pain and your shame. I mean in general. You know, you've got to love life. You've got to communicate with people. You've got to show your personality. So when you're walking into, you know, a business or a coffee shop, you know, like today, you've got to speak your heart. I spoke to the gentleman today. He was really friendly. He was authentic. He was vulnerable. We've got to face our fears to do that. So that's really important, and I want to make you aware of it. Now, these things I'm making you aware of today, they're not quick fixes. Overcoming anxiety is not a quick fix. Anyone who says it is outrightly lying, and it's just going to waste your time. So it's a full-time commitment, because think of it like this. I'll just get more of this coffee. That's definitely true. You're right, 100%. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Absolutely. As you know, talking to negative people who could be abusive and toxic, that adds to the pain. So yes, you're right. Thanks for writing that. That's important. You've reminded me of that. It can make things worse. So that's true. You're right. Where was I? Us, right? So you've got to be fully dedicated. And you know, I realized that, and I realized that, and I realized that, and I realized that. And the reason why I've said that 4 or 5 times is because it's an ongoing realization. Sometimes I forget how hard I had to work in the first part of my journey. I mean, I'm 40 years young right now. We don't use the word old, right? Because age is just a number, and you're only as young as you feel. And I feel young, right? I think I could kick the 30-year-old me, I could kick his ass, right? In every way. I'm struggling with intrusive thoughts. Every thought I don't want to think persists in my mind. I guess what you resist persists. Stay on this live stream. I'll help you with that. Follow my videos, my channel, if you want. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate your compliment. So, I realise how hard that you've got to work. Now listen, please express your thoughts and feelings, guys and girls. Listen, be honest with me, right? Please write in the box below. I can't do this on my own. I need your help, so you can help me to help you. When I say the word hard work, it's going to take a long time. You've got to work hard. What comes up for you? Be honest. Don't be scared. Write in the box. What comes up? Write what comes up. Because most people, it's human programming. When you say the word running and walking every day until things get better, so is that what comes up for you, right? There's no right or wrong answer. Everyone's got their own individual feelings and opinion, and I want to hear it authentically. When I say the word, so I'm in the midst of getting the chocolate coffee off my lips. When I say the word hard work, it's going to take time. What comes up for everyone? And those of you that are going to see this live stream later on, let me know. I'll get back to your comments. What comes up? What feeling is it? What thought process? What intrusive thoughts come? What comes at me? What is your mind saying about me and you and the whole idea of hard work? Let me know. I'll get your second in a question. I've done videos on that in regards to, you know, how do you feel about people bullying you and things like that. And this, I'm kind of explaining that now, but I just want to stay on point for a second. I want to stay on the word. We're not going to drift off. This is a good exercise that I practice with my clients, and I do. We're going to focus on one subject for a second, because otherwise the mind is going to go everywhere, and then you're not going to learn. Too many distractions, too many thoughts, feelings, emotions. You don't make progress like that. So let's stay on the topic. Today's topic is about how to change your life. If you've got anxiety, intrusive thoughts, you've been bullied growing up, you're in a lot of pain, a lot of shame, and a lot of blame. I totally understand. And you really want to start changing. If you're already if you already are changing now, brilliant. This is for you as well. Because I know some of you might be watching my videos and talks, mentorship, and getting your own help, and you would be in the process. You might have really grown right now, and of course it's a lifelong journey, and I want to quickly share that. Even with my journey, it doesn't end because I'm a teacher. I still feel like every single day I'm back to the beginning again, but I'm making a lot of progress. You know, for as long as we're here, we've got to keep living and enjoying. So I don't just buy a coffee today and say this is lovely, I enjoy it, right? Unless I'm giving up coffee, which I'm not anytime soon. So I don't wake up tomorrow and say, well, don't need to drink coffee today. I've kind of clocked that like a video game, because I had it yesterday. It's like, well, it's the next day, I want to have a coffee today. You know, you can't say, well, can't do life tomorrow, I did it yesterday. Well, you have to, unless you want to keep living. So it's the same with, you know, confidence and discipline and living a positive life and getting past not just the yearly anxieties and the anxiety from the past, but the daily anxieties. We all have anxieties every day. Everybody does. Everybody does. Most people are not going to be honest about it, which is their choice, but I want to be honest here. We want to get better. We want to be a better person. So we've all got our daily anxieties, our daily disciplines, our daily responsibilities. So we've got to build a mindset, a heart set, a character, discipline to be a better person. If you want to be a better person, you've got to work hard every day. Okay, so none of you have mentioned it. Most people with a human psyche, when you say hard work, people don't like it. They regurgitate. There's almost like, oh, don't want to think about that, because human beings naturally, the normal human state is everybody wants comfort. People want it easy. So when you say the word hard work, it trips out people's minds and their heart and their spirit, and they go, I don't want to do it, because that means it's going to be difficult. It's too much. You're right. It's going to take too long. That mindset is, when they say on the TV shows, it's incorrect. You won't change like that. And it's a lack of gratitude. The harder I work, the happier I am. If I don't work hard, I get depressed. If I'm not working hard, it's like you lose motivation. So hard work doesn't have to be hard work doesn't have to be a death sentence. That can actually be a joy. The happiest times of my life, I hope this will help a lot of you so you can find the happiness. The happiest times of my life, from when I was a young kid, young as I can remember, all the way up until what you see now, 40 years young. The happiest periods of my life have always been when I've been working really hard and I've been giving value, and I'm not being selfish, and I'm also giving love to myself. I'm not abandoning myself, and I'm helping people with healthy personal boundaries. I'm contributing. I'm working hard. I'm paying my rent. I'm paying my taxes. I'm building a business. I'm being a good friend. I'm so happy. I've got joy. And I think for men and women, especially men and women, but especially men have got to work hard. A man's whole sense of value and self-esteem and connection, most of it derives in hard work, and that's a good thing. Because working hard makes you humble, it makes you respect people, it makes you want to give more. But when you're not working hard, you're going to get frightened, you're going to get depressed, because the mind's not focused. So a lack of discipline, a lack of focus, a lack of work ethic equals poor mental health, and it equals also a life of misery. I have to exercise most days. That's brilliant. I don't know why, unless I read it wrong, I don't know why you said it like that. I think that's a brilliant thing. I think you should be kinder to yourself. And the word I have to, okay, but well done. It's great that you exercise every day. That's a great way to live. Exercise is good for everyone. Good for you. Keep going. Of course, yeah. That's common sense, isn't it? If you sit around and you eat junk food, of course you're going to be depressed. Which is why I teach and mentor and help my clients and me to eat a healthier diet. I'm not saying that you can't have some junk here and there. We're not going to be too rigid. Balance is key, as Mr. Miyagi said to Daniel's son. Daniel's son, when you find balance in you, then karate, everything works out. It's true, balance. But mainly you want to eat healthy food if you want to change your life. And we know it. I make my teaching simple. My teaching is about drinking coffee, making the bed, having good manners, being kind to people, exercising, working hard, giving back to society, working on your career, spending time with people that you love, enjoying time on your own, and exercising. It's a really, really simple teaching, but if you follow it, it will change your life. See, when we're out of the experience, let me give you an analogy, right? And keep your questions going. I'm going to keep adding them to this conversation. I can give you guys an exercise right now, and girls, it's a good one though. Try to be positive right now. Try and control your negativity. I'm not saying that you can't get it out, but try to control yourself. Self-control is important. So of course, it's really important. If you're really struggling, then get a therapist. Therapy's good. Talk to someone, get out all of your stresses and things, but you can't stay there forever. You're not going to be happy. So try and say positive things. Try and think positive and start to practice the affirmation of being grateful and having gratitude. So I'm grateful here now to be in the park. I'm having a coffee. I'm on a live stream, making a lot of progress, helping people. Wonderful day. I don't agree on that. Really, your therapist did that. I don't agree on that. I think that advice is ludicrous, crazy. You should get a different therapist, in my opinion. Listen, I suppose everyone's learning and living. I got given that advice before, Wasn't from a therapist though. It's from a family member. That's another story. Boy. Yeah, it's not ethical, is it? If you know my story, you know that I did it. I had an addiction. Thank God I beat it, so I don't judge anyone who's done that at all. I'm very understanding. But yeah, I did that. And I've helped a lot of people, hopefully, by talking about my mistakes that I made in my life. Well done for being honest, but hopefully I don't know all your information, but you've changed that now. And you're right, I'm glad that you guys and girls brought that up. You know, a big part of changing is, you know, because we all make mistakes in life, but it's learning to address them and change them, and also do the best you can to not be judgmental of others. What videos would you guys and girls like me to make just in the future? I'm not sure about that, my friend, what you've asked me. Mr. Tommy Gunn, 1979. Don't know about that, don't know the answer to that. On the subject of, sorry, I was going to say, I'm just having a little bit of time just to relax. Okay. Anyway, I'll go back to daily discipline. So what I practice every day and what I teach is a program I've designed. Actually, this program is born out of my mental health breakdown in 2017. I recovered from a mental health breakdown. I want to share my story more on as many platforms as I can and in person to help people, give them hope that they can come back from whatever they're dealing with, especially anxiety related. And the daily discipline routine was actually built from most of my life mistakes that I made, things that I was ashamed of and where I didn't have discipline, and also positive things that I did, I was happy about, proud of, and things that I learned. So it was basically, it was a change of mindset, it was a change of heart. It goes back to working hard, and basically all the way up until age 34, I'd lived most of my life in the future, right? I'm sure we can all relate. I mean, not every single day, but generally my thinking was always about next week, next year. And I didn't realize till I had a mental health breakdown and had a big realization. I found my faith again, which was a beautiful thing. And that's another story for another video stream. I started to realize that I'm not getting the most out of each and every day because I'm always thinking about the next day and next week. And being in a mental hospital and having a lot of time on my hands and enjoying the medication that they put me on and enjoying the long sleeps I had, it made me think about everything in life. You know, I didn't plan it. And I started to realize there's 24 hours in a day and there's a lot to be grateful for. But if you're not conscious, if you're not aware, if you're not awake, I guess that's become a popular term, or you're not mature, you're just going to go about your whole life every day and you're not really going to be there. A A lot of people are like that. I was like that, where you're talking to them and they're not there. You're thinking, I might as well be talking to this coffee cup or the brick wall, because they're not really listening, and they're in their head and they're thinking about who's upset them or who made them angry, or they're judging themselves or they're judging you when they're talking to you, and they don't have any awareness. So I was like that at times in my life. I was definitely like that. So the mental health breakdown made me go, oh, wake up and get better and start to really appreciate your life like you did when you were younger. Because when I was younger, I think all of us when we're younger, we do get life right. We do it naturally. We love, we trust, we're caring, we're authentic. We appreciate small things in life. We go to our friends, we play video games together. That's how it was for me growing up. Like, my friends would come to my house. My parents would give them food, you know, cakes, chocolates, would play video games. It was beautiful. I go to my friend's house. Alex, his mum, his dad, his mum was lovely. She'd give me like food, fruit, dinner. Sometimes I was a bit embarrassed, but she'd give me money to get food. She liked me a lot. We'd have great times. So it made me realize how I was wasting my life through a lot of things that were not meaningful, like talking to nice people like you, having a coffee, and being what my nan said. I think it was at my nan's funeral. The priest had read out, or my cousin did a reading at my nan's funeral, and my nan had spoken about, you know, being present, and that is many people say that, but that was years ago. So being present, and when you're present, anxiety doesn't exist. Anger, frustration, who hurt you, I get it. Those things don't exist because you have what I've achieved today. Hopefully it will continue for everyone. You're more present, you're more relaxed, it's simple. Simplicity is the key. So working hard teaches you how to be present, aware, kinder, appreciative, simple, and then things are amazing. Does that make sense? Anxiety makes life complicated. It does that. That's the nature of anxiety. It's a protective mechanism. It has to calculate every single potential risk and threat of your life. So for example, people are in their house. I was helping my client with this the other day, and many people, and I had it years ago till I broke out of it. And I get it sometimes too, actually. Just realize that. It's awareness. You're in your house, and all of a sudden, you are bombarded with intrusive thoughts, anxiety, and you're scared to leave the house because your mind starts going, well, but what if I go out and somebody hurts me or shouts at me, or what if something bad happens, or what if the shop that I love going is closed? It starts to go down the whole what if, and that never ends until you end it. And then it's like, oh, but what about my rent? Oh, what about, oh, I'm a terrible person. Oh, I'm ashamed of all the... Before you know it, you have been overtaken by intrusion. Someone's broken into your home, you know, your mind, and now you're stressed, you're anxious, you're emotional, you're angry, you're not present, you're ungrateful, you're worrying about the future, nothing's good enough, you can't appreciate what you've got now, and now you don't want to leave the house. And now your mind has made life very complicated. Now your mind will start to go, what about money? What about living? What about dying? What about my health? What about my friends? What about finding love, not finding love? It will just go into panic mode. That's what the mind does. Everyone's mind does that if it gets triggered. All of us. Then it goes, you know, I've not achieved anything. Oh, everyone online is better than me. You know, the podcasters or successful people, look what they've achieved. I've not done anything in my life. It starts to tell you all these lies and things like that. And before you know it, then you might engage in, you know, all kinds of mental, you know, just that mental conversation. And now it's like you've been bullied by your own intelligence and you can't leave the house. Something simple. So that's why I say to people, anyone watching this channel, if you want to start to change your life, it starts off with waking up in the morning, making your bed, saying thank you. Look, I'll show you an exercise now. I was going to say I hope you guys laughing, girls. You can laugh. I'm serious, but I'm having fun. I'll do it now. Let me just go. Wow, I can breathe. I'm still alive. Grateful that I'm alive. Life's precious. Tomorrow's not promised. Wow, I'm still alive. Thank you, God. Thanks for another day. If you do that when you wake up, you've already succeeded. How many people do you know? This is not a judgment. We're being honest. How many people do you know as soon as they wake up in the morning, right, they actually go, breathe, thank you for another day. Not many people. I know a couple of people. I'm doing it every day, or my clients are doing it. Hopefully more of you will. The first thing most people do is go, oh, my life, I hate it, I don't want to face it. Oh, I don't like myself. Oh, I don't like that person, what they said. Oh, can't deal with today. So the way that you beat something that's so intelligent and complicated, like anxiety, which is a protective mechanism to protect us from death, survival, or growing, you simplifies it. I cannot beat, excuse me, I'm doing a live stream, so I can't beat something that is so intelligent that it knows every single one of your fears and my fear. I can't win in that way. It's a master, but I can beat it with stupidity. So a fool and stupidity can be a grand master of the anxious mind. What's stupidity? Simplicity. It's not stupid, but there's a lot of truth in what I'm saying. I can say all the things you're saying: get up, wash the dishes, leave the house, go to the gym. You beat it. Overthinking, procrastination, ruminating, intrusive thoughts, catastrophic thoughts, suicidal thoughts, paranoid thoughts, scary thoughts that try to keep you in your flat. You leave the apartment, you go to the gym, you speak to a friend, your therapist, a mentor, you go and have a coffee, say hello to someone. I was going to say stroke a cat. I love cats, I think they're beautiful. You've overcome it. That's success. Success for me was I couldn't get out of my house years ago. So that's why I live simply, because living simply is exciting. My teaching is very simple, my mentorship. There's chocolates going. So discipline is doing the simple things consistently, being thankful when you do them, giving the best of what you've got and sharing it with other people. One of the best motivations, a lot of people ask me, Jonathan, I'm not motivated, but I don't like my life. How do you get motivated to change your life? By wanting to be a better person and be kinder and make a difference to other people, make the world a more positive place. I can't think of a better way than that. So my motivation is to change more people's lives and share my story and help them to share their story and improve their life. And that doesn't always have to be in someone, making £10 billion. If they do, good luck to them, right? You don't have to give me anything, just subscribe to my channel. That could be me just doing a video, inspiring someone, motivating someone I've never met before, I don't know who they are, and they go, I watched your video, Jonathan, I was suffering with anxiety and I got inspired, I left my house and I went to the gym and it made me happy, I've done my job. Or I was struggling with something and I was able to get it out. Nice one, Frank, I appreciate it, man. I also I like the way that you're going about things as well, and I like your encouragement. Appreciate that, Mitchell. Thanks, that means a lot. Thank you, man. So today we're talking about all things meaningful, all things anxiety related, all things discipline. We're also, being spontaneous, sharing our stories, communicating, and the title is around, changing your life if you've been through anxiety, intrusive thoughts, criticism, bullying. I think that's pretty much everyone, and we're working on ways that can simplify your day, like having a coffee. I really want to get another one. I think I'm going to treat myself. I've got a good question for you guys, right? I asked my client yesterday, and it was he liked it. It helped a lot, and the question came to me. I didn't even plan it, and it's I don't know. I'm in a humorous mood today, but a very serious mood, which is good. Being myself, how do you look after yourself? Like, what is self-love to you? We say that all the time. Like, without abandoning yourself, it's very important, of course. I know all of you will do it. I know all anxiety sufferers are usually very good at, most of them are very good at pleasing other people. That can be positive and negative, and loving other people. Growing up most of my life, I'm the same now. I was a very loving person. Clearly not a perfect person. We always say that, don't we? A voice comes in and we say that, but that's humility. I was a very caring person to others, but not to myself. Not to myself. Reason being because I unconsciously thought I don't deserve it. Like, I deserve to give love out, which is a wonderful thing, but when it comes to giving it to myself, I'm ashamed. I'm not good enough. I should be a man. I should be strong. Whatever the case may be. When I realised the damage that I was doing to myself, I started to work on giving to myself. Even friends would say it, or a teacher would say, "You're always giving. What? You're not very kind on yourself." I said, "Actually, you're right. That's true." I started doing that. I started to feel better. I encourage my clients. So how does that look like? Let me give you an example. For me, self-love, respecting myself, giving myself that time is having a coffee. That's my way of treating the little boy in me, right? We all have one. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I think a man should be a man. He should be strong. He should look after people. He shouldn't be a bully. He should stand up to bullies, respect women, respect his family. But at the same time, he should be a man, strong, and he should also be vulnerable, sensitive, emotional, and have the right balance. I think we know that deep down. To answer your question, no, I'm not in a relationship at the moment. I would love one. I'd love to get married. I'm working on myself. I'm saying my prayers, and I've got faith that when the time is right, the right woman will have me in her life. But at the moment, I'm working on the relationship myself, which is getting really better, and I'm focused on living my dream, which I'm doing, my purpose, helping people. But no, to answer your question, the answer is no. I've got some exciting news. I'm going to meet up tomorrow, social Chinese group, Facing My Fears. That's brilliant, man. You know that I love that. If you like, one thing that makes me happy is when anyone, any of you, any person tells me and says, "I'm facing my fears tomorrow at this day, I'm going to do something positive." Yeah, that's such a life-changing practice, Mitchell, for everybody. What you just said there, the simplicity, what you said with being still, slowing down, not rushing, because we all do that at times. All of us do, not just people that quote unquote come from this community of anxiety or bullying or trauma. And when we realize that, I say it 4 times, we start slowing down, we feel better. That's part of, actually, what you just said there is a way of self-love. It sounds simple, and it is simple, but try it. Slowing down is how you connect with your authentic self, how you live a better life, appreciate things more, because if you're rushing around, do you mind? I'm trying to do a live stream, man. It's the noise levels triggers my anxiety. Those noises giving me trauma, man. I'm healing. What are you doing? So slowing down, if you don't slow down, as Mitchell said, then you can't enjoy your life because you're not here. Ever been in a conversation with someone? I've said this earlier, of course you have. We've all done it, or someone's done it. And you really want to connect. You're in a good mood. You feel present. You want to give. You want to share. You want to connect. You want friendship with whoever you're talking to. Could be a friend, family member. Could be me, anyone. And they're not there. They're not there. I mean, they're here in the body, but they're somewhere else. They're thinking about their bills, their council tax, their rent, their holidays, or they're in a selfish state. And you're there going, "Hello, is anyone there? The lights are on, no one's home. I'm talking to you. I want to connect. I want to be honest. We want to have a great time. Life's challenging, but let's be in the moment now and help one another. Just have a nice conversation." Or be honest and say, at the moment, I'm struggling to talk to you because I'm depressed. My life is a disaster. I'm worried. Say that. Then I can help you from there. We can help. I can say, "Don't worry, I understand. I've been there. I've had challenges in my life. It's not as bad as you think. You're not dead. You're still alive. Let's come up with a strategy." Maybe just sharing it. I'm not going to judge you. Why would I judge someone for saying they've got struggles? I actually appreciate the honesty. We can build something. He's laughing. Look, I'm serious. I'm funny. I know that you are a talented boxer. The other day, I got a rib injury in jiu-jitsu. Really? You're serious? Come on, man. Breaking your ribs, that's not self-love, man. That's not self-love. That's overdoing it, man. I agree, a man should be a man, but a man should never break his ribs in order to show himself that he has self-love. Stop doing that, Frank, man. Oh, I love it. I love laughing. Do you know how much confidence it takes to laugh when you've been traumatized and beaten up most of your life? It's not easy. It's not easy. I've never had a rib injury. I'm probably going to break my ribs today now. I'm not going to speak too soon, but I can still find gratitude. No, I haven't had that one. I've broke my hands. I've had my, when I was younger, a kid at school smashed my head through a window. That wasn't nice, but it made me grateful. That's lovely here. It's funny you just said that. Yeah, I want to do some more traveling. I've not long got back for some traveling, Mitchell. I don't know if you're up to date. Obviously not going to know anything I'm doing. But I went Germany twice last year. I really enjoyed that, Hamburg. And then I went to Latvia, Riga twice. So I've done some traveling. Obviously I've got to do more. A gentleman spoke to me, and they're a nice fella. And he was recommending Italy. I'd love to go. But yeah, you know, it's always excuses, right? We make them. But focusing on the business at the moment. But yeah, I want to travel again soon. I really enjoy it. You almost dislocated your shoulder. Oh, that's good. We got martial artists on this channel. We got judo. Good little mix. I'm gonna do an event at some point, a big one. I'm building up to it, so I'm working on that in the hotel, and I'll let people know. But I will be straight and honest with you guys. This event is going to be a paid event because I've done like 2 or 3 years worth of free events, which I loved. I don't regret it. I'm a big believer in doing a certain amount of things for free. You should always do it. But this one, you know, it's going to be a paid one because, you know, my life's short. I worked hard. I've got to be paid for this time, and it cost me a lot of money to put this event on. But it'll be affordable. There'll be a lot of value. Obviously, it's your choice to come. It'll be a whole day at a hotel. We're gonna have a great time, and I'm gonna cover and mentor you on pretty much everything that I've learned about changing your life and everything, and it's going to be amazing. So I'm working on that. I've spoke to some of the hotel managers, and I got the price. It's going to be around. It's going to cost me around £500-600, but it's worth it to book out the whole for the whole day, the whole room. So I'm going to put a lot of effort into this. You know, as they say. There was an Irish saying years ago, if you're going to do a job, do it properly. So I really want to give a great experience, so I can teach you everything that I've learned, and we'll have a great time, and we'll get to socialize, coffee. It'll be an amazing day. Yeah. Oh, you've been Hamburg as well? Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful, man. It was a beautiful. How did you find it? I found it. I just got such a good warm feeling. I found it. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's hard to explain now. I think I described it a while ago. It was. I can't explain it in words. Yeah, I appreciate that, Frank. I think I gave one of my previous clients high blood pressure because I told him that my prices have gone up. So in future, before I say my my prices, I will recommend someone sit down, get a glass of water and breathe a little bit so their blood pressure doesn't go up like my previous client. But he's doing well now. He did message me saying that I've changed his life. It cracks me up. Oh boy. Yeah, I teach this in my business model, and I've always believed in it, and I think the best businesses run like this. I'm doing it with my client Phil. I'm a big believer because that's how I like to be treated, that if you're running a business, you know, you need to be paid. It's a business, you've got to make a living, but you should also have a department that is charitable where you don't charge money, you do it for free. But I've got obviously a balance, right? The same in business. You can't be a people pleaser and just do everything for free because you'd be homeless, you won't be able to eat. And you know, I risk my life to develop my skills and my business and my career, and that's not a joke. I literally had to almost be killed. I had a mental health breakdown, and that was vicious. I thought my life was over, and I'm not saying that's due to coaching people, but some of it was, and I love it. You know, I can make fun of it. It was obviously things that happened in my life, and I'm back again teaching. So sometimes people don't understand how hard coaches work, and they complain about the prices, but they don't realize that most of us are underpaid, that we put a lot of our own money in. Sometimes we go broke to help people for free, and that is a good thing to help people, but you've got to be paid. And I was teaching my clients to not be afraid of money, what people say, be a good person, do your job, because at the end of the day, you know, when I first started out trying to change my life, I didn't have any money. And if you haven't got any money, you haven't got any money. So you take advantage of the free stuff. Les Brown helped me for free. Now, when I was starting out, if I had money, 100% I would have paid Les Brown, whatever the cost, but I didn't have any money. I was unemployed. So I appreciate the fact that, you know, I don't know how much money he's making. I hope he makes millions more. He's a good person. I appreciate that he charges what he charges for his programs, but he also does free stuff so people don't get left out and they've got no excuses. And it's down to other people. People always have excuses, you know, but those that appreciate will appreciate, and they'll take advantage of the free stuff until their income comes up and they can make an investment. So that's what I teach in my business model, and you know, my faith, just how I brought up, teaches me that. Because I don't think, you know, it shouldn't just be about money, and I mean, money's not even enough. It doesn't motivate me enough. But obviously there's a balance. No, it didn't work out, Frank. It's just one of them things, you know. I was heartbroken. I'm sure she was, but we weren't right for each other. And that's not her fault. That's not my fault. And I appreciate my time. And that's life. You know, that's one of the things that I've learned. I'll talk about that more on the channel. Everyone can relate. Coming back from a breakup, becoming a better person, appreciating the lessons that you learn from the relationship. But yeah, we weren't compatible. We both tried. We tried for a year, and we're just on different journeys. So yeah, it didn't work out. Keep it moving. Yeah, I've been to Cologne as well. Yeah, it's a beautiful city, Mitchell. I went there years ago. Really enjoyed it. Now, it's kind of good because today we've gone on different tangents, different topics, but everything we've said, that I've said, and everything that you guys have said is all relevant to the title. When people say, well, you know, Jonathan, how do I change my life if I got bullied growing up, I got abused, I have anxieties, I have these issues, and it's like, well, you got to face your fears, you got to live life. So you got to do some traveling, like what Mitchell's done. You got to go to some meetup groups, what Frank's doing. You've got to do what the other gentlemen are doing. You've got to work out. It's pretty simple, really. But is it easy to do? No, it's not easy. I'm almost going to laugh because it's so painful and it's so challenging and hurtful and lonely at times, but also beautiful and not lonely, connective and easy and joyous. It's life. It's living life. It's going to have its ups and downs, but that's what it takes to overcome the challenges and the trials and the tribulations that you've gone through, that you're going through. You've got to keep going, and if you want to keep growing, you've got to keep going. And I've got a saying, you know, if you're around people and they're not letting you grow, then you've got to let them go. But you can do that with love, with boundaries, with strength. You don't have to do it with you know, hatred and animosity. But if they're not letting you grow, then you have to let them go, unless you want to. I said to a client yesterday, lovely guy was telling me that he's got someone in his life that he loves, a dear friend, and they love each other, but his friend's dragging him down. He doesn't want to grow. He's grown. And even his therapist, and I said, you've got to let him go. It doesn't mean you're abandoning him. You're abandoning yourself. I said, you've been a good friend. You feel guilty. Guilt is because you are a good person, you care. If you don't let him go, it's going to ruin your mental health. It's going to make you suicidal. And he said, he said, you're right, Jonathan. You're right. I said, it's not going to be easy, but you're going to have to do it unless you want to keep suffering. It's not fair on you. And it's actually not fair on him because he's stopping himself from growing. You can't kill yourself in order to keep somebody else happy. That's not fair. We've all got a responsibility. So that's why I say if they're not letting you grow, you've got to let them go. And if I didn't learn that, then I'd be an idiot. I mean, I can be an idiot sometimes, but I've learned from life that you have to let people go if they're not letting you grow. And that doesn't mean that you are abandoning them and rejecting them, but that means that you have to have space. Sometimes you've got to have space for a weekend. I'm on fire today, it's this coffee. For a month or for the rest of your life, you know. When we pass away, I hope that we all go to heaven, we all reunite. Or maybe it's a case where you have space because the person in your life is toxic for you, and you might be like that for someone. I know I was like that. I can have the courage to be honest about that. When I was younger, not all the time, but certain times in my life, I wasn't good to be around. I was negative. I was a good person, I was kind, but I was negative. I wasn't positive. I wouldn't want people to be around me. So I had to realize that, you know, people had to let me go. And I had to learn and grow and get myself right. So it's a two-way responsibility. But yes, overcoming anxiety and bullying, if I could condense it down into one word, relationships. You have to work on your relationships. It starts with yourself. Working on yourself is going, actually, I've got someone in my life, I love them, but I've outgrown them, or, you know, they're stopping me from growing. Gotta let them go. Old wisdom. Appreciate that. That's a horrible thing, isn't it? It happens with humans. We get guilty. I've been through it, where it's like you feel really bad and guilty. You've got someone in your life, you might have grown up with them your whole life, you love them so much, you know. If they passed away, you'd cry your eyes out, and you do love them, but you can't be around them because where they're at the moment is not healthy for you on your journey. So you've got to keep it moving, and you've got to be around people that it feels correct. I like the word that I've made up myself. The word is incorrect or correct. I can ask you guys questions now. Think about everyone in your life right now. Just be very honest. Do not come from your mind, come from your heart, your instincts. I'm going to stay out of it. I'll ask you a question. Go over everyone in your life and ask yourself, is this relationship correct or is it incorrect? Your own truth will tell you the answer. Sorry, when did you ask me about weights? I think you asked me about deadlifts. Oh, I love deadlifts. I haven't done them for a while. Yeah. I'm not very strong in bench press. I'm not really a strong weightlifter. That's not really my strength. I used to be kind of strong. I love weights though, but that's kind of like not my regime and my goal at the moment. My goal is to stay slim, fit, healthy, and to enjoy training. I do weight training. It is part of my regime, but I'm not bodybuilding in the way I used to. When I was younger, I did. I love it though. I love it. I think it's a great thing. Again, it's got to be the relationship that's right for you. So we talk about relationship, your relationship with your training, with your friendship, your business, your career. And again, today, a lot of people are always trying to please other people. If I was to please people, then I'm going to start trying to do what they want me to do, and I don't do that. So a lot of people will say, which is fine, it's a good challenge. They'll say, oh, Jonathan, you're too slim, you need to put on weight. All right, when I was overweight, you still need to lose weight. If I follow what you're telling me, I'm going to be living your life, I'm going to be miserable. It's probably going to put me in the ground. But when I'm living my life, I'm happy. So we can't please everyone, and we can't do what everyone wants us to do, because we're going to break ourselves down. So that's really, really important to do that, you know, because at the end of the day, it's like, let me give you an example, because I love training. I absolutely adore bodybuilding, but growing up, you know, I always wanted to have a physique. No one can be him, but I always wanted to have a body like Bruce Lee. Always did. I was a slim guy growing up. I was skinny, and there was a time where I wanted to be big, because I also like that physique as well. But it doesn't resonate with me. So in my 20s, I got inspired by all the bodybuilders: Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lee Haney, Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, all the old school guys, Frank Zane, Dorian Yates, all those guys. But you know, that wasn't my journey. My journey wasn't to be a bodybuilder. If it was that, it was to use bodybuilding as a tool to develop a ripped, slim, athletic, Bruce Lee, middleweight boxer type physique. And that's what I achieved in my 20s. And you know what? I'm going to ignore that intrusive thought. I'm not being big-headed or arrogant. Get the hell out of here. I'm helping people. I'm being myself. I'm in shape again. I've got a physique that's probably better than when I was in my 20s. I'm slim. I'm ripped. I've got a six-pack to make up for the hair loss. I'm not embarrassed about my hair loss at all. I used to be. I've overcome it. Just wearing a hat because it's warmer. So you got to be you, man. You got to be you, and you've got to live your life. You can't be, trying to please other people, because you're going to end up mentally unwell. Unless, of course, you ask for help. I'm glad you've got a good sense of humour. Have you got any quick tips for starting your own business? Oh man, where do I start? Okay, the best tip I would say for starting a business is, what's your story? You've got to share your story. Most people that are in business, they're not sharing their story because they're scared of their story and they're ashamed of it. All the business is in your story, Frank. You give value your story and help people, be genuine. Whatever business you're running, I don't care if it's a coffee shop business, you're running a business where you're mentoring people, whatever the business may be, online, you've got to help people. You've got to be genuine. You've got to be real with what you do, and then your business is going to grow. So they're really important tips that I'd give anyone starting a business. You know, make your service really good, make it authentic, be yourself, tell your story, share your story. That would be a great start. And then, you know, other things like work your ass off. You've got to work hard. Most people who start businesses are naive. They think that they're just going to go from starting a business and becoming successful straight away. It takes a lot of work, and you've got to work your ass off. That's important. I'd also say that you've really got to enjoy it. You've got to find a way to love yourself and love what you do. If you love what you do, your working hard will not be a punishment, it'll be a joy. And if you look after people, you help them. My next tip would be, don't be afraid of money. You know, a lot of people go into businesses and they're scared to lose money, they're scared to make it, they're scared to talk about money, they're scared of selling and marketing. Overcome that fear, be genuine. You've got to not be afraid of criticism. You're going to get criticized when you start a business. You found it funny, all right? Well, the reason why, yeah, I can answer that question for you, not at all, not embarrassed. The reason why I beat that addiction, because I wanted to beat it and I wanted to live a better life and I wanted to get a real relationship, and that's what I did at that time. You know, I had that addiction in my early 20s, so I didn't want to do that. I wanted real love, real relationship. I wanted to turn my life around. So it just happened naturally. It actually was quite easy to let go of that addiction. What was harder was actually to go out and, you know, confront my anxieties and my shame. Thanks for coming on. The only unfortunate news is the battery's running a bit low, but we've covered a lot. You can watch the stream back today. Probably going to do another one later on. I'm really going at it today. So yeah, appreciate everyone coming on. For me, I'm just going to say what I've said before. It's just continuation for me. I don't look at this as, oh, I did a video today, and next one. This is daily discipline, you know, continuing this dialogue. All of you have been wonderful. Thank you for coming on. Yeah, I can understand, man. I mean, you know, what kind of therapist would give you that kind of advice? It's just insane. Your therapist needs a therapist. Let it go, man. I understand you're upset. Use the pain and do positive things. Keep doing what you're doing. But yeah, look, everyone's got their own methods. I just think that's ludicrous. Like, what kind of therapist would encourage you to go and do something that is, you know, it's going to mess you up? But anyway, use that pain, like I said I think on this title or a video, to turn your life around and, you know, forgive. Good stuff. All right, I'll speak to all of you soon. All right, my battery's low. I've got to keep it moving. And good luck, guys. All right, appreciate it. You guys are welcome.